Hey guys, so I'm going to be doing something a little bit different today. We are going to be talking about teacher students. Okay, what is going on? Because every time I open up my YouTube app, I see a case after another case after another case of teacher student like inappropriate things going on. Okay, and I'm just gonna read these off because there are so many of them. I don't want to get it wrong. Okay, so we have Madison Bergman, former fifth grade teacher, pleaded guilty to multiple sexual misconduct charges involving children. She sent more than 30,000 texts to an 11-year-old she also made out with. Yeah. Okay, and then we have South Carolina former teacher Nicole Callahan, age 33, allegedly sexually abused a teenage student she met at a musical theater project that she was running. The boy was 14 at the time. It is said that she started offering and giving the boy rides to rehearsals. Former high school teacher slash coach Christina Formella was allegedly having a sexually inappropriate relationship with a 15-year-old at the time when this happened. It is alleged that she was sending the victim inappropriate text messages where she grooms the child. They also engaged in sexual acts at least 50 times at her home, as well as at the school approximately 45 times. The inappropriate sexual contact began on January of 2023 to August/September of 2024. Now we have English teacher from New Jersey, Julie Rizzitello, age 37, admitting to sexually assaulting two high school students for the past decade, one in 2017 and the other in 2024. Then we have Ricky Lynn Laughlin, who avoided prison time after getting the sweetheart plea deal. It is said that she communicated with a student on Snapchat, sending pornographic videos of herself and pressured the child to have sex. On July 24th of 2025, she pleaded guilty to endangering the welfare of a child, creating substantial risk in first degree. First offense, no sexual contact. She was sentenced to 5 years of probation. Okay. We have Michaela Ford, 30 years of age, a substitute teacher who is accused of having a sexual relationship and sex acts and kissing a student on campus. It is said that Michaela was caught on school security cameras kissing a teen student. How could you be so comfortable, right? Okay, then we have former substitute teacher Brittany Fortenberry from Indiana, who is facing 47 criminal charges. It is said that she forced boys into having group sex with her students as young as 13 years old, wearing a ghost face mask from the movie franchise Scream. And I will insert the mask just so you can get an idea what I'm talking about. If you don't know what the movie Scream is, it's a scary movie franchise, okay? Now we have 34-year-old former teacher Allie Bardfield from Illinois, who was arrested for having sent sexting messages on Snapchat as well as sending hundreds of dollars on Cash App to an 11-year-old boy. She admitted to assaulting the child during quote unquote play dates at her home. Now we have special needs teacher Sandy Carazas Pinez from New York, who groomed and sexually exploited a 16-year-old boy through text and video calls and secret messages. And I want to tell you guys This 16-year-old boy has special needs. He is a special needs student, okay? She engaged with the victim in sexual acts and she was sentenced 25 years to life. It takes a special kind of person to be doing some stupid stuff like this to a special needs child. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say it. And then this is what she sent, one of the texts she sent to him. It's disgusting. Quote, I know for me it isn't going to be easy. I will miss your kisses, hugs, and everything. End quote. You guys, she is talking to a child. Disgusting. Okay. And then we have former teacher Elena Barden from Kentucky is accused of sending explicit photos as well as sexual contact with juvenile inmate that she taught, asking him to kill her husband so she doesn't have to go through divorce and custody battles. She sent the child sexually explicit photos and letters while in juvie. Like, he's in juvie, right? How stupid could you be to be sending sexual photos of yourself and letters asking him to off your husband? I don't get it. If you thought that was crazy, we have Laura Karen, former 34-year-old elementary school teacher from New Jersey, accused of aggravated sexual assault as well as having a baby.
A baby.
Let me read that again. She is accused of aggravated sexual assault as well as having a baby with a 13-year-old student. The teacher befriended the parents, and this is when the sleepover started. The victim ended up residing in her home full time in 2016. The boy was 11 years old at the time the abuse started, and the teacher became pregnant with the boy's child. If convicted, she could face 40 years in prison. How did this child end up living at her house? Because I don't think it was very clear on the articles that I read. It didn't really say how he ended up living at her house. I don't get it, you guys. And both it wasn't just him that was sleeping over, his sister as well was sleeping over at her house, and the sister would say that they were sleeping at a certain spot of the house, and the sister would say that the boy would be there when they'd go to sleep, and she'd wake up and the boy wasn't there anymore. He'd like come out of her bedroom and stuff like that, and it's just like, I wonder if she had said something, you know, had she had said something to her parents, I wonder if it would have been stopped, right? Because it seems like this happened for what, it had to have happened in a length of time. So, yeah. I feel like we're at a time where it is so dangerous for children because all these technology is so easily, readily available to them, and anybody can access your child. You know, for them to have cell phones at such a young age, you're exposing them to possibility of predators getting to them if you don't monitor their activity online. And it's crazy because there are so many predators out there, right? And if you don't monitor that, they could easily be pursued by predators online, even in person, right? So a lot of these were through text messages, like the teachers were sending nudes and inappropriate text messages and videos, and were able to communicate with children through digital communication, right? And it's just so crazy that they had the guts to do this and groom a child into engaging in a sexual act with them, and to have that power dynamic, that you have the power that you have as a teacher to influence a child that doesn't know any better. Like, shame on you for grooming and putting kids through trauma, and they don't know. At such a young age, they don't know that they're being groomed. They don't, like, they know it's wrong, but they don't know the depth of how wrong it is. And it's weird because I grew up, I'm a millennial, okay? I grew up finding out on the news about all these male teachers doing bad things to students, and then now more and more news comes out about female teachers that are doing the same thing to male students. And it's like, we know it's always happened, but it seems like it's becoming like more a trend. I wouldn't even say it's a trend. It's coming to light how many female teachers are actually grooming and manipulating students, right? And it's weird because women are emotional, right? If they were to, say, cheat on their significant other, it would be, I feel like it would root from stemming from something emotional going on in the relationship that would make you want to do something like this, right? And I feel like these women, okay, not to excuse anything, but these women, they're not they're not unattractive per se. I mean, they're average looking, but they're not bad looking. Okay, it's not like you can't go out there and look for a man your age. I mean, I'm sure somebody, there's always somebody there for you, just not a child. Like, it's not like they're that bad looking that they don't have a chance with men. There's plenty of men out there that are of age, that are single and would love to settle down. And a lot of these women in the story are married and have people. And it's just crazy that they'll go to crazy lengths to have groomed and have an inappropriate, I wouldn't even say a relationship, because the kids were groomed into this. It wasn't like they know what the extent of what they were doing, because that's not the case, okay? And it's like, how do you how do they comprehend, like, how do you get them to comprehend that this is wrong, right? Because their brains are not fully developed, right? It's up to those adults. It's up to those adults to put a line, put a stop to it. And like, some of these women were victim blaming. And it's just like, how dare you, right? These are children. The brain isn't even developed until, like, late 20s or 30s, right? So it's just crazy to see that, hey, yes, it does happen. Female teachers do this, and it's crazy how many are coming out now. It's disgusting. And I've met plenty of great teachers, and it's just crazy that you wouldn't have known that these teachers were capable of doing this. Women are capable of doing crimes too, just as heinous as men do. And it's just crazy, like, how many cases of children being groomed are coming out now. Like, everything is coming to light, and everybody that's doing this are usually hidden in plain sight. And it's like, you don't know who you're coming in contact with, right? And you don't know who your child, who you trust and would hope would do the right thing, are actually doing the wrong thing. And it's like, it causes not only the victim, but the people, the parents, to have trust issues, because now you've caused them to not trust anybody with their child. Because it's like, oh, a teacher, you would think you could trust them, and then all of a sudden you find out your child is being groomed and was coerced to do some sexual act. And it's like, who do you trust then? If you can't trust a teacher, who do you trust then? you know and I'm not There are plenty of great teachers out there, but it's like, you gotta be aware, and you gotta trust your instinct if something is going on. And I feel like parents who let their child have electronics at such a young age, it is so important to monitor what they're doing online, because you don't know what they're getting exposed to. You don't know what your child is getting exposed to. And I feel like if you leave them on their device, they could pretty much, somebody will get a hold of your child that doesn't have good intentions. So I feel like it's very important to monitor your child when they are online and they are underage. Okay. And it's scary. The internet is such a great thing, and it's such a bad thing at the same time, because everybody has access. People that are around the world can have access to your child if you let them, right? And it's scary. It's very scary. You know what's crazy? My first phone was the Nokia brick phone. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's an indestructible phone. It was great. I used to make ringtones on it. But when I came to California and all I had was a flip phone, I grew up in a time where technology was just getting better. You know, uh, yeah, all I had was a flip phone. I had a phone when I was like 12, 13 maybe. But, you had to do the digits to type, like, how they have three letters on each number. You had to, like, literally text it out with each number. And it's like, it's not as easy as it is now to it wasn't as easy as it is now to access the internet with those phones. Like I don't even think you could browse the internet with those phones. Like the track phones, the flip phones, that's what I had as a child. And it's crazy that little kids have tablets and cell phones, and it's crazy. Like I feel like an 11-year-old is too young to have a cell phone that's connected to a line. You know what I mean? Like it's all of this was bad enough, right? But it takes a different kind of person to be doing this to a special needs child. Like that's taking it to a whole nother level. Like not saying that this is all like not wrong, but to do it to a special needs child is even like more horrific. I just don't understand the thought process of these women. Maybe they got a little bit of attention from their students and it made them feel good inside, but these are children, and it is scary that you don't find this wrong at all as an adult. You don't see this behavior to be wrong. That is scary. Like how do you even get comfortable that you would send text and sexually explicit videos to children of yourself? How do you get so comfortable that you do the act at the school campus in front of a surveillance camera? How? It's crazy that these women allegedly didn't think at all for a second when they were doing this that this was wrong, right? And boys are victims too, you know? It's not just because usually growing up you would see a male teacher doing it to a female students, but people don't talk about the boys in this. And boys are they're just as vulnerable as female students. And female teachers are just as capable as male teachers who do this, right? So there's got to be something going on emotionally that would make you think of doing something like this. There's something going on mentally that you would think that this is okay, because it's not at all appropriate. It's it's very sad that you could do this to a child. And we need to protect our children, you guys. It is very important that you monitor your children online, and we need to protect our children. That's all I'm going to say, because we're in a time where everything is coming out and more people are coming to light about what they're doing behind closed doors. Okay? So, yeah. I mean, the thought of a, an 11-year-old child to have a child at that age with a person that you were groomed into having a sexual contact with. I mean, that is a crazy thing to say out loud. The trauma that these children have to go through, the trust issues that they have to go through now, it's crazy. And I'm gonna tell you guys something, okay? I'm gonna make a video about me, I went through this. As a child, I went through things like this. I went through trauma myself, and I'm gonna talk about it more in a separate video because this isn't about me. But the I tell you, the trust issues follows you all the way to adulthood. The nightmares, everything, the trauma that comes along with it follows you through your whole life. Okay, so that's it, you guys. Let me know what you think about this video, because what in the hell is going on, right? What the hell is going on with the teacher in these cases, okay? Because make it make sense, okay? If you found this video interesting, share it, subscribe. If you're not subscribed, like the video. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Bye.